Alright, welcome back. This is another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmor, and this is game 2 of a best of 16 series between High and msrm. msrm here in the red Infernal, and High here in the blue Celestial. And seeing the Arc ship moving up to the front here, as well as this Morph Core, to build that initial collection array. And we see an interesting strategy. I used to do this earlier in the early access, but I have forgotten that you could do it. And so this Hexen here is just getting some glitch kills, I guess, on these Shadow Mastiffs. Taking a little longer than it used to because they have been buffed with their hit points. But again, I think it would take a pretty long time to creep all 5 of them here. But while you still don't have units out, you might as well just have your Hexen sitting there doing this, unless you wanted to get some. And now what's happening? Those Shadow... Oh, the Imp broke down these trees, and now the Shadow Mastiffs have found a path. This is not good. Okay, they're running back. You don't want that Hexen to solo tank those. But now we do have our Brute coming out. Okay, like I said, I thought it would take a long time. Though the Hexen is unlikely going to be able to clear that all out before you get your first unit. And sure enough, we've got our first Brute on the map. That Brute tanking all of these Shadow Mastiffs. Got a Fiend out of the first one here. And now we split the Brute. Those Fiends tanking. And we've got it looks like a 5th Fiend coming out. So pretty good haul. 3 Skulls and a split Brute to get 5 Fiends. And we now have those units moving across the map to get onto this vision camp, which might mean early aggression. One reason why I take this creeping pattern is to get my units closer to my opponent's base, and then maybe try and pressure them. And what we see from High, okay, we do have a creation chamber there. Do we have an Argent? No, that's a Morph Core. So we don't have any units on the map yet. So it looks like msrm is not going for that early aggression and seems to have not captured that vision camp, which may have been intentional. Sometimes you do that to not give away the positioning of your units. But he may have also just maneuvered away from the camp too quickly, which is also something that you can do. Where is that skull going? Ooh! I love this! I didn't see this. So we had 2 Brutes coming over here. And a skull going down to help to produce a Fiend. Oh, I love that. This is some high level, next level creeping strategies out of msrm. Even though he didn't capture this one, he has captured 4 different creep camps. It's just the 3-minute mark. And using the Sovereign's Watch trick, we have only a single camp being captured here by High, which is... I just really love that. I think I'm going to have to study this replay again just to see what is it that he did to make this work. Maybe knocking down those trees was also intentional. I don't know. Maybe msrm has spent many games on this map perfecting his creep strategy, especially against the Celestial opponent, which typically, due to their desire to expand quickly, tends to... they have less units on the map at the early game and are less able to creep. We now see this Therium camping taken out, and I thought I saw some Argents moving up here, but they moved back away. Maybe they saw this army down here and got scared off, which they should be, because there's a lot of Fiends in this army, and Fiends are pretty good against a smaller group of Argents, especially if you can get a nice round on them. You can get really good DPS on them. Soaking in those speedy juices of the speed camp, they are now very rapidly running over here. Seeing those Argents up there, yeah, those Argents definitely could have some trouble with this army here. And yes, they're running away. I like how the Fiends waited for the rest of the army to catch up before they tried to go for a surround. I think that's really good. Of course, they were also recapturing that camp. And now these Argents are chasing back these units. I think msrm, going back to the speed camp to just soak in those speedy juices again. This is something I've been seeing more and more in gameplay. It was very common to maybe camp out around a health camp before, but now we're seeing players camp around the speed camps a little more so they can get, you know, just better positioning on other units like a surround, or moving your units in a little bit quicker so that all of them can be attacking. And we got more creeping over here on the Ethereum camp. Looks like High's army has now caught up. At least his supply is now 10 more than MSRM. And MSRM saying, hey, if you're creeping on that side of the map, I'll just steal your health camp. I'll just come over here and steal it. And based on how quick these are going down, yeah, this is a level 1 health camp. That means this camp has not been creeped yet. High just never sent his units over there to creep it, which is very interesting. Okay, I don't think you want to engage with all... That's a debuff from the slime, so that gives you negative armor. So you take extra damage. You definitely don't want to engage against the Argents, especially when they're all powered up like that. So yeah, we got those units running away. Back to the speed camp. Where did those other... Oh, okay. Still with the debuff. Oh my goodness, that lasts a long time. Trying to capture this one, but this smaller little force from High pushes those fiends back, and it looks like these fiends are now heading over here to capture these camps, being a little bit annoying. But the whole army of High now moving across the map and heading towards these camps, probably trying to chase these fiends away. And MSRM's army, now adding some mags, is camping out here at the third base, a nice sort of defensive posture. Although, okay, now what? Soaking in those speedy juices again? I like it, I like it. Okay, that speed camp just reset. But no, where is he going? He's going to send one fiend over here. No, all of his units over here to capture this. The mag busts down the trees. Okay, that's pretty good. But we have this army coming in from High. MSRM's units all out of place. And now that base gets canceled. Those High, all those Argents had High full power, and they were just able to do a lot of damage. We have one Stompy Boy coming here saying, get out of my space. A couple Fiends getting on top of them now. That Stompy Boy is on cooldown, so he's getting focused down. But two more Stompies come in, and ooh, they're getting some pretty good engages on those Kree. One of them getting focus fired down, with the Purify on the ramp being helpful at first, but then not after these Argents get pushed down. But now they are pushing back. They are saying, getting those Infernal units back up onto the high ground. That Magmadon going down, and now they might get another. Oh, and it looks like they killed that without a cancel. So that's two bases they basically got. Another Magmadon with a weak little stomp there before getting focused down. Another one again getting focused down really quickly. So good control by High to make sure he's focusing down those dangerous units. Pushing in those Argents to get them on top of the Gaunt so that all of them are firing. Another Magmadon coming down. A little bit early on the stomp. And these units once again pushed down to the low ground, heading over to the healing camp, but it hasn't been captured. And okay, now using Evolution Catalyst to take that camp for free, and then soak in those sweet healing juices. And a Shroud Stone, it looks like, going down here to help protect this base that has now been denied, or destroyed once and denied from being rebuilt a second time, and now being rebuilt for a third time. We do see MSRM trying to get the speed camp back again, which when it refreshed, it would have been great for him to capture it right then, but he did not. These Kree getting right on top of the Gaunt, now being micro back. Kree do extra damage to Gaunts. This poor Magmadon trapped there and focus fire down by the Argents. And again, good micro from both of these players. With those Gaunt losses, MSRM wants to fight back up on the Shroud next to his Shroud Stone and his meat farms here, and does manage to chase High back one more time. High's up on supply quite a bit. 30 up on supply, but content to just push back, pull back, recapture some of these towers, get that income again. Get those passive boosts. Curiously, we see that MSRM still controls High's health cap. Although, actually, I should say they both control each other's health counts. Very interesting. We do have some fiends now coming out here, and these Argents and Kree moving across the map to try and clear out another camp. And again, MSRM, I think, just happy inside these speedy juices. As long as you sit there, you remain speedy. And the countdown on the buff only begins when you leave the camp. So you can stand there for as long as you want with that little speed boost, and as soon as you need to, you can push out. Okay, more creeping over here. And this base is back up again. So we're back on 3 bases here. It looks fairly saturated, except for these ore. Not quite. I usually count 8 as saturation on ore, which is a little bit more than the common wisdom, but you can have as many imps or workers, celestials of course being a bit different, as there are patches. And you can, if you have a full set of 30 patches, I believe is the max, you could put 30 workers on there. Okay, just fighting over these towers and such, sending some fiends out to try and recapture while this army moves back and forth to keep recapturing them. Okay, skirting by the healing camp, not capturing. Very interesting. A scan on the high ground to see what he's going up against, and Flame on Imps just jump right on top of those Kree, getting about 5 of them, which is a good trade. And it looks like after that, High says, okay, I'm not going to push up. I'm going to move back here to this tower. We see MSRM a down 60 supply. Wow. Wow. And these imps, come on. What are they doing? I assumed they were going to flame on, but... oh, geez. Now they flame on a little bit late. And they get Dark Prophecy. Okay, one of them making contact, killing 2 Kree. That's pretty good. Those Dark Prophecies clutch for the zoning. We got... I think that was just a scout skull. Just seeing where he is. Well, we've got a force moving out here onto the high ground while the rest of his army's down here on the low ground. And this is going to be a great little flank maneuver. Dark Prophecies going on these gods. Dark Prophecies on both sides, but Stomps coming from those Megamedons, canceling the Dark Prophecies. And there's now a new cooldown on Dark Prophecy, so it cannot be immediately recast. And wow, I have never seen a surround with mags and gaunts. These Argents have been completely surrounded. They cannot escape. So many fiends coming. That shroud across the whole map from the top bar ability, ensuring that the Plague Axes cast infest on all those units. And we now just have a giant army. Almost nothing was lost. Few mags, it looks like, from that army. Of course, the Argents were probably trying to focus them down, which is what you do. But when you're focusing those high HP units, you do not have any DPS for all the squishy damage dealers like these Gaunts. Again, just pushing through the Dark Prophecies up onto the high ground, saying, I've got enough here that your zoning techniques are not useful on me anymore. One mag engaging the whole army, while the rest of the army is just content to say, I'm killing your base. You need a base. We've got other units, fiends, looks like going on over here, and we have the army being chased right back into the back corner. A few sides, but a Magmadon there going down. One other Magmadon on the high ground. It looks like this is going to be it for High. I can't imagine him coming back from this. There are so many units on the low ground. A few shadow, and that's a GG out of High. All right, thanks a lot for watching this best of 3, and please stay tuned for more Goblin Cluckfest games.